Happy New Year, everyone. It is 2020. Can you believe it? We have had an amazing year together, and I cannot wait to see what 2020 has to bring. But first, I'd like to go over my top 5 adventures of 2019. So stick around, it's going to be good. My number 5 favorite adventure of 2019 has got to be the canoe camping trip that I took with Rob, Mike, and John to the Bog River Flow. That trip was incredible. Not only did it give me an opportunity to hang out with some friends that are really awesome dudes, but it was Mike's very first outdoor adventure on his birthday weekend. It was very cool. I think he enjoyed it, other than the common complaint is all of the bugs. It was June, so kind of to be expected. But it let John dial in some of his overnight gear for the Northville Placid Trail, and it was my very first adventure out with Rob. So very cool, very excellent, and it's something that I'm looking forward to doing again in the future. I think it's going to be great. My 4th favorite trip of 2019 had to have been our trip up Colden Mountain. Colden is one of the 46 high peaks in the Adirondacks, and for this particular adventure, it was amazing because we had a whole crew with us. We had Mark and Daisy, who are awesome all the time, Dan, which I think this was our first adventure with Dan, John, and John's mom. Very cool. It was John's very first high peak, and we had a crystal clear blue day. It was just amazing. The weather was perfect. The mountain was perfect, the terrain was perfect, the company was beyond perfect. We had a really good time, and it was my first introduction to champagne gummy bears. Who would have thought? Very cool, very, very cool. My number 3 favorite adventure of 2019 had to have been completing my Lake George 12-ster on Sleeping Beauty Mountain. For that day, I was solo. I had hit Erebus first and then took the backside up Sleeping Beauty, and it was amazing. Another crystal clear blue day. We don't get those too terribly often, or at least it seems like I don't get those too terribly often. Maybe I'm jinxed. But anyway, Sleeping Beauty, the summit was amazing. I had been up there a number of times, but this particular time last year was to finish my Lake George 12-ster. And I stayed up there for probably an hour and a half, ate some lunch, talked to some really cool people, enjoyed the views. You could see all the way to the high peaks that day. It was awesome. Very fun day, very amazing, and it was very cool to be able to finish that challenge for the Lake George 12-ster. My 2nd favorite adventure of 2019 had to have been the 105 miles of the Northville Placid Trail that I was able to finish. Not only is the trail amazing, but I got to share the experience with 3 amazing guys who broke up each of the sections and hiked with me for 30 or 40 miles. The first section was John. He did from Northville to Passaico. Then Mark and Daisy joined me from Passaico to Wakely Dam. And then Dan joined me from Wakely Dam to Long Lake. It was awesome. The trail is incredible. While not everything went according to plan, and if you watch the series, you kind of know. But yeah, not everything went according to plan, but still was an amazing, amazing time out in the woods with, like I said, some great guys. And I'm really looking forward to finishing up that adventure. Going through all of the adventures that we've had in 2019, it was really tough to pick my top 5, but number 1 was easily the first choice amongst everything, and that's because I got to share it with my family. Our whitewater rafting trip down the Colorado River between the walls of the Great Grand Canyon was possibly the most amazing adventure I've ever been on. And it was just that much better to have my kids and my wife there with me. Very first time I've ever gone whitewater rafting. Very first time I've been in a helicopter. So many firsts. And what I will remember always is the excitement and joy on my family's faces as we were going through that adventure together. It was an amazing experience. I highly recommend checking it out. If you can't get down to the whitewater rafting tour, at least try and get to the Grand Canyon, because the natural beauty of that place will blow your mind. The unfortunate thing is now all other family vacations are going to be held up to that standard of our Grand Canyon whitewater rafting trip. While that is difficult for me to obtain again, it's still nice that we went on that adventure, and I'm really glad to have shared that with my family. It's easily number one for the entire year. So yeah, 2019 was a year of amazing experiences, and I'm so grateful that I was able to film them and put them on YouTube and share them with an amazing community like yourselves. But the fun doesn't stop there, folks. 2020, it's a brand new year. We've got a whole list of very cool things coming up this year, and I wanted to share with you the 5 top things that I'm looking forward to for the coming year. Number 5, there's an upcoming subscriber hike that I am so pumped for. Now, YouTube has made it almost impossible for me to contact each of the people who have indicated they're interested in coming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody who's interested in coming along on the subscriber hike to email adkwoodswalker@gmail.com and let me know. That way I can send you the date, the time, and what the plan is going to be. So if you're interested, send an email, and yeah, I'll respond and we'll get that set up. But I'm very much looking forward to the subscriber hike that's coming up. It'll be probably in early February at this point. The number 4 thing that I'm looking forward to coming up this year in 2020 is a backpacking overnight trip that I want to take with my kids. They've never been on a backpacking overnight, and I think it's going to be an amazing experience. They've indicated that it's something that they're interested in trying out, especially after I spent so many days in the woods on the Northville Placid Trail. They thought that seemed pretty cool, and they want to do an overnight themselves. So I'm very much looking forward to sharing that experience with them, and I'm hoping that it kind of hooks them so that they want to go on some more adventures with me. That would be excellent. Along those same lines, I have an anniversary trip planned for my wife and I. It's going to be a canoe camping trip in one of my favorite parts of the Adirondack Park. And I'm so excited to be able to share not only the canoe camping piece with her, but that part of the park. Like I said, it's my favorite part of the Adirondack Park, and I am so amped to be able to bring her out into that area of the wilderness and have her experience some of the very cool things that I've experienced over the past few years. I think it's going to be an amazing time. It'll be our 19th wedding anniversary. So we've been together for a very long time, and I'm super pumped that she wants to go out on that trip with me. I think it'll be awesome. Number 2, I mentioned it a little earlier, I am super amped to finish the last 35 miles of the Northville Placid Trail. That trip is going to probably happen in the fall, based off of the schedule I have for everything else going on this year. And I'm super pumped because it's going to be, fingers crossed, with Dan, Mark, and John for that last section. At least that's the plan. And I think it's going to be an epic finish to an amazing adventure on a fantastic trail. So that's my number 2 that I'm looking forward to. So with those 4 epic adventures planned and countless others, you might be asking, what am I looking forward to the most in 2020? It has to be me finishing my trek to becoming an Adirondack 46er. In 2020, I have 15 mountains left to climb, and Mark and I are going to finish together, hopefully in August, on Dix Mountain for number 46. I think it's going to be an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to sharing that with Mark. We've done 31 mountains together already, and it has been awesome every single time. Not necessarily weather-wise, but the adventure has been amazing, and I'm looking to continue that. We're going to do a couple overnights to hit groups of mountains, and I think the epic finish on Dix Mountain is going to be, it's going to be icing on the cake, folks. It's going to be amazing. So really looking forward to that. That's my number one thing that I'm looking forward to this year, finishing my 46er quest. As you can tell, I think 2019's adventures were amazing. Very hard to pick my top 5, but I think the ones that I listed are top of the bunch there, the cream of the crop. And 2020 looks to be like it's going to be an even more amazing year. So I hope that if you haven't done so already, you click that subscribe button, come along on the adventure with me, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Until our next adventure, make sure you get outside and do something awesome every single day. Thanks for watching.